Today, we're discussing a significant development in U.S. financial regulation: the Trump administration's recent directive to halt nearly all operations of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB. This agency was established in 2011 as a response to the 2008 financial crisis and was designed to protect consumers from unfair, deceptive, or abusive practices in financial services. The order came from Russell Vought, the newly appointed director of the Office of Management and Budget. A Saturday night email, he instructed the CFPB to cease work on proposed rules, suspend any regulations that had been finalized but were not yet effective, and stop all investigative work, essentially shutting down its functions. Additionally, Vought mentioned that the Bureau would no longer withdraw funds from the Federal Reserve, stating that its current financing level of $711.6 million is excessive. A CFPB was created with funding from the Fed to insulate it from political pressures. The situation is particularly relevant as it highlights ongoing tensions between regulatory oversight and conservative agendas aimed at reducing government intervention in markets. Argue this move could weaken consumer protections at a time when many feel vulnerable due to rising costs for essential services like credit and banking. Different sources provide various insights into these developments. Internewscast emphasizes that conservatives have long viewed the CFPB as an overreach by Barack Obama's administration aimed at limiting free market efficiencies. Meanwhile, Ennis Kelleher from Better Markets argues that this move effectively gives big banks and giant corporations leeway to exploit families financially without accountability, a sentiment echoed by Elizabeth Warren, who decried this as giving a green light to scam families. Moreover, there are practical implications for consumers. PB can still take complaints from consumers. It will not conduct examinations or pursue investigations into potential wrongdoing by financial institutions. This raises concerns about oversight capabilities during a critical time for economic recovery post-pandemic. Historically speaking, this is not an isolated incident. Past administrations have attempted similar moves against agencies perceived as burdensome or excessively regulatory. For example, under President Reagan's administration in the 1980s, there were significant rollbacks of numerous federal regulations intended for consumer protection in areas such as finance and healthcare. In terms of broader implications, we see a clear trajectory toward deregulation under certain political ideologies which prioritize market freedom over consumer protections. This ongoing tug-of-war raises important questions. Who do we trust more, the regulators or those being regulated? Will fewer regulations ultimately benefit consumers through lower prices and increased competition? These are questions worth considering amidst these developments. In conclusion, orders may argue that halting activities at the CFPB aligns with promises made during Trump's campaigns regarding reduced regulation and lower costs for working-class families. Critics warn it could lead to exploitation without proper oversight mechanisms in place. Consumers ourselves navigating this landscape, it's crucial we stay informed about these changes and consider their impacts on our financial well-being moving forward.